Please go to please go to slides on page 66. So finally, we've done the first things when you purchase inventory. So when we purchase inventory, we've done this part already. How to record when you purchase the inventory. We talked about this already, right? On May 4th, May 6th, May 8th, and May 14th, when we got cash discount, right? After we got the inventory, what's the next? Our purpose for inventory, of course, we are going to sell it to customer, right? So right now, we are going to talk about when we sell the inventory to customers, okay? But remember, today we are hard worker or lazy guy. Hard worker. We are still use perpetual 永续盘存制. So hard worker perpetual means what? When we sell the inventory to customers, we will record two things, right? How much money we earned from customers. So we are going to record revenues. Also, we are hard worker, so we will try to get cost of goods sold. If you remember from last week, don't use your cell phone, please. If you remember from last week, remember what is the most difficult part we have? Cost of goods sold. How to get the number cost of goods sold is quite difficult. So that's why chapter 6, next chapter, we will tell you how to get the number for cost of goods sold. But because you are perpetual hard worker, so even though the number is quite difficult, but still we will solve the problem, record it now, okay? So hard worker, perpetual, we are going to record two things. First is revenues. Second is cost of goods sold. Okay, so that's the key point we want to mention now. Okay, so how to record it? I use one simple case to let you understand how. If before I purchase by 1 unit inventory, okay? When you buy the 1 unit inventory, if I told you total money you spend is $10, remember $10 means what? 1 plus 2, right? Always remember how much money you spend is 1 plus 2. Why is 1? Purchase price. Why is 2? Make it ready for sale. Make. Okay? After you spend $10 to buy the inventory, so right now you have that 1 unit in your company, right? So in your company, you have that 1 unit inventory in your company. Remember, inventory in your company still, that's your inventory. Inventory is your asset, right? Later on, we are going to sell it to customer. When you sell it to customers, you try to earn revenues from customers, right? So later on, when we sell it to customers, so you sold 1 unit to customer. You spent $10 to buy it before. When you are going to sell it to customers, you will sell it with higher price or low price. Of course, higher price, right? Then what profit you will make, right? So if I told you, we assume the selling price is $15. So if selling price is $15. So what does it mean? You earn the revenues from customers. How much? $15, right? Okay. So right now, in this, we are here. So right now, you are here. You earned revenues from customer. Okay? So you earn revenues from customers. How much? $15, right? So $50. You earn revenues from customers, but nothing for free. In order to earn revenue from customers, what kind of expense you have? What's your cost? You spent $10 to buy it before, right? So I spent $10 to buy it before. Right now, I give it to customers to earn their revenue $15. So in order to earn their revenue $15, what's your expense? Nothing for free. You spent $10 before. So you will have expense $10, right? Because you want to earn that from customers, you have expense increase $10. Why is that? Because you spend $10 to buy inventory before, right? Okay? So what's your profit? You should understand, when you do any kind of business, what's your true profit? What's the true money you could put it into your pocket? $15, you sell it to customer. You spent $10 before. So for this transaction, what's your profit? Only $5. Okay? So you should understand, only $5 you earn the profit. So your profit is only $5. Okay? Could you tell me that $5 is your profit? Which specific term we use? Gross profit. So what's the gross profit? Sales revenue minus cost of goods sold. Okay? So this $5, we call it gross profit. Why is that? Because this is our sales revenue. The revenue you earn from customer minus cost of goods sold. The money you spent to buy the inventory before, right now you sold it to customers. Okay? So there's a logic concept right here. But what's our question now? Our question is, for the logic concept right here, how we record it how we record it on our two accounting books. Okay? For revenues, so we have two things. You are a hard worker. Since we are hard worker, we will record two things, right? What are these two things? First is the revenue. Second is our expense, because we are hard worker. So we are going to record our two things. First is the revenues. First is about the revenues. Second is about our cost of goods sold. We are going to record these two things, okay? For revenues, quite simple. You've learned that from your first 4 chapters. You earn revenues from customers. So that made your sales revenue increase, right? So what's your first effect? First effect is sales revenues increase $15 because you earn revenues from customers. So your sales revenue increased $50. Did you get the money from customers? Usually, normal case, no. So here, if we told you customer didn't pay you yet, is on the count. If we told you earn the revenue from customer, but on account, 记在账上 means customer didn't pay you yet. Okay? So what's the second effect we have? I earn the revenues from customers, but customer didn't pay it. So what's the second effect? Customer owe you money. So which account we use? Accounts receivable increased $15, right? So my accounts receivable increased $15. Okay? So that's for the first thing. I record revenues. I'm done already. Any questions? How about second thing? You spend $10 to buy the inventory before. Right now, you sold it, give it to customers. So do you have that inventory, 1 unit? No more, because that 1 unit, you sell it to customers. So you don't have that 1 unit inventory because you give it to customers. Okay? So for expenses, what's the effect we have? First, your inventory decrease. Why? Because you give it to customers. Because you gave it to customers. Okay? How much? 1 unit, but you spend how much to buy it before? $10. Okay? So your inventory decrease $10. One unit for $10 because you spent $10 before. Inventory decrease. Your assets decrease. At the same time, your expenses increase. Why? Because you spend the expense $10 in order to earn the revenues. So your expenses increase. Could you tell me, for that $10 expense, which term we use? Sales revenue minus cost of goods sold. The expense related to inventory, we call it cost of goods sold. What does it mean? Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods, don't forget, cost of goods sold. Think about it in 2 terms. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods, how much money you spent to buy it before? $10. Okay, is your cost of goods. How much money you spent to buy it before? $10. Sold, how many units you sold? 1 unit. Okay? I spent $10 to buy it before. Right now, I sell it to customers. So it's not my inventory anymore. Since it's not your inventory, we have to say it. That's your expense incurred. So inventory decrease because you give it to customers. So which means your cost of goods sold, your expenses increase. $10. That's your expense. Because your expense increase. Increase means incurred. Okay, any questions? So there's two things we have to record. First is about the revenues you earn from customers. Second is about the inventory. When you give it to customers, they make your inventory decrease. At the same time, nothing for free. In order to earn their revenue, we have expenses. Cost of goods sold happened, incurred. Okay? Any questions? If you don't have any questions, please go to your note on page 18. Page 18. Please finish first transaction June 1st. June 1st. When you sell the inventory to customers, how we record it? On June 1st. Page 18. Right here, remind you something first. Page 18. Key point first. Perpetual 永续 means what? You are a hard worker. You are a hard worker means what? When you sell the inventory, you are going to record two things, right? First thing is about revenues. Second thing is about cost of goods sold. So you record two things, revenues. You record second things, cost of goods sold. Why is that? Because you are a hard worker. So you are going to record revenues and cost of goods sold, two things, okay? Second is, right now you are the sellers. So we talk about when you sell the inventory to customers, okay? So record two things. How much money you try to earn from customers? You sell inventory $6,000 on the count. So what does that mean? $6,000 is the selling price you try to earn from customers. So this is the selling price. On the count, so did customer pay? No. On the count, so customer didn't pay the money. Customer didn't pay. Okay? Inventory cost $2,500. What does it mean? You spent $2,500 to buy the inventory before. Okay? So inventory cost $2,500 means your cost of inventory. You spent $2,500 to buy inventory before. Okay? Based on this, please finish first transaction. Give me two journal entry, right? First journal entry for revenue. To record two things. First journal entry for revenue. Second journal entry for your cost of goods sold. Because you are a hard worker. Hard worker, you are going to record two things. For revenues, also for your cost of goods sold. If you've done already, then maybe you can do some math. tell me what's the gross profit for this transaction. When you sell the products to customers, what's the gross profit you got from this transaction? Okay, so if you've done already, you could double check the answers right here. You earn the sales revenue. At the same time, customer didn't pay you money, so accounts receivable increase. Second thing is you sold inventory to customers, so you don't have that inventory anymore. At the same time, your expense, cost of goods sold, increase. Okay? For this transaction, what's your gross profit? Gross profit is sales revenues minus cost of goods sold. So will be $6,000 minus $2,500. So for you, this transaction, you got the gross profit, you got the profit should be $3,500. Okay? When you do any kind of business, you have to make sure you got enough profit, because the profit is the true number you really can put into your pocket. So for this business, did you get enough profit? Yeah, so it's a good business for you because you got a good profit. Okay? Key points right here. You are a hard worker. You use perpetual 永续盘存制. So don't forget, except recording revenues, you have to record cost of goods sold. The second thing, okay? Right here. Any questions? Please make sure you understand perpetual 永续盘存制, because next week when we talk about second method, periodic, it's very simple and just use 5 minutes. Based on perpetual 永续盘存制, give you 2 points. Then we've done for the second method, periodic. So please make sure you understand perpetual 永续盘存制 right now. Okay, any questions? No problem? Okay, so we've done the first one. When we sell inventory to customers, don't forget you earn the revenues. Also, you have expenses, cost of goods sold increase. What next? Look at the second transaction. What happened? June 1st also. Did you find out? For sale, you paid freight out cost. You paid delivery fee. So who paid delivery fee? Who? Seller or buyer? Right now you are seller. Seller paid the delivery fee. So could you tell me, is FOB shipping point or FOB destination? Seller paid delivery fee is FOB shipping point or FOB destination? Hunter, FOB shipping point or FOB destination? FOB destination, okay? So FOB destination in this case is FOB destination.目的地交货 FOB destination told you seller pay the delivery fee. Okay? So when you are the sellers, you pay the delivery fee. How we record it in accounting? So please go back to slide. On '43. Slide on 43. Slide on 43. FOB destination who pay the delivery fee. Sellers is in charge of everything. Okay? So slide 44. We've mentioned this, but we only mention shipping point. Shipping point, buyers in charge. Buyer pay the delivery fee. So for the delivery fee buyer paid is part of cost, part of inventory cost, right? So we should record it as inventory. Why is that? Because that made your cost of inventory increase, right? So if there's a FOB shipping point, buyer pay the freight cost. That freight cost means inventory increase, means cost of inventory increase. But right now, we mention here, FOB destination, when you are sellers, sellers pay the freight cost. How we record it? We record it as expense. This kind of expense, we call it freight out or delivery expense. Either way. So the money you paid, we use this account, freight out, 销货运费, or delivery expense. Either one is okay. Okay? So what's the difference? The difference is when it's shipping point, buyer pay the freight cost. That freight cost, we record it as inventory. Inventory is your assets. But when you are the sellers, sellers pay the delivery fee. Delivery fee, we use this account, freight out, or this account, delivery expense. Either way, but they are your expense. Okay? So in this term, in this figure, it's easier for you to understand. If you are the buyer, so when you pay the delivery fee, when you are the buyer, when you pay the delivery fee, this kind of delivery fee is our inventory. Inventory is our asset. Why? The delivery fee you pay when you are the buyer, we use inventory this account because that made your cost of inventory, the money you spend to buy the inventory, increase. Okay? So when you are the buyer, the freight make your cost of inventory increase. Okay? So that's why we use inventory this account because they make your cost of inventory, the money you spend to buy the inventory, increase. But how about after you got the inventory, later on when you sell the inventory to customer, at that moment, if you had to pay the delivery fee, so when you are the seller, you pay the delivery fee. For that delivery fee means the money we spent in order to sell the inventory to customers. So for that delivery fee, we call it freight out or delivery expense. We call it freight out or delivery expense. Why that's our expense? Because when you sell the inventory to customer, you try to earn the revenues, right? When you try to earn the revenues, you have different kind of expenses incurred, including delivery fee, okay? So we have expenses incurred because when you try to earn the revenues from customers, selling inventory to customers, trying to earn revenues from customers. When you try to earn the revenues from customers, you have different kind of expenses incurred. When you try to earn revenues from customers, you have different kind of expenses incurred, including delivery expense. Okay? So you have expenses incurred in order to earn revenues. From customer. Okay? Drew, what's happened? What happened? So confused. Why? Buyer pay the delivery fee. That's your inventory, your asset. Because another point, what's the definition of asset? What you own, and they will provide future economic benefit, right? You pay the delivery fee, but the money you paid will help you to get the future economic benefit? Yeah, because when you pay the money to buy the inventory, in the future, when you sell it to the customers, you will get the money from customers. So right now, when you buy the inventory, all the money you pay to buy the inventory, in the future, eventually, you will get the benefits from customers. So that's why we included it as part of your assets. Okay? But for here, when you sell it to customers, you earn the revenues from customers now. The money you pay for the delivery fee, will it help you to get a future economic benefit? No, it helps you to get a benefit right now, not the future. Okay? So that's why we use different terms to describe it. Is better? OK？ 可以理解吗？我付运费，我在买货的时候付的运费，跟我卖货的时候付的运费，为什么在会计的处理上不一样？我买这批货付的运费，那为什么我买这批货付的运费，我可以把它当做 inventory， 当做我的 asset 的一部分？如果你还记得 asset 的定义的话 ，asset 的定义是什么？ Future economic benefit， 未来可以提供你 经济效益，未来可以帮助你，那就是你的 asset。就像笔电、桌子、椅子、车子、房子是你的 asset， 为什么？因为未来可以帮助你。怎么样的帮助你？你把它卖掉，可不可以拿到钱？可以吗？你使用它打工，可不可以赚钱？可以吗？所以任何的 asset 只要有 future economic benefit， 对你未来有帮助的都叫 asset。好，我现在啊花了钱付的运费，请问我花了钱付了运费买了这批货，所以我本来啊买这批货是50块，付了运费10块钱，所以我 total 花了60块买了这批货。未来有没有 future economic benefit？ 有啊，我转手卖掉60块东西，我卖人家100啊，我可不可以有没有 future economic benefit？ 可以啊，我可以赚 profit， 从顾客那边赚钱回来嘛。所以有没有 future economic benefit？ 有。所以呢，我现在买这批货付的运费，对我未来会有帮助的 future economic benefit。那为什么我在卖货的时候付的运费，我把它当费用 expense？ 因为，请问我现在把这批货卖掉，那我跟顾客赚的钱是现在还是未来？现在 right now。现在我赚到的收入的同时，你要记得收入的产生就会有费用的产生，所以为了赚这一批收入，我一定有相关的费用产生。所以呢，你付的运费，在卖的时候付的运费有没有 future economic benefit？ 没有 future， 是现在就有 benefit 了。所以现在就赚到多少钱？我卖这批货，假设从顾客那边赚到的 revenue 30块。但我付的运费是10块钱，所以我现在 right now 就赚了 profit 20块，可？所以为什么这边当费用？因为它没有 future benefit， 它是 right now 有 benefit。所以通常你要想 revenue 的产生就有 expense 的产生。那为什么在前面当 asset？ 因为它在未来才会帮助到你，不在现在。Okay, so that's why when we pay the freight cost, you should be careful. You are the buyer or you are the sellers. We record it in different ways. Okay? If you don't have any questions, then please go to your note on page 18. Yeah, page 18 right now. So, you are the sellers. You are the sellers. You pay the freight cost. You are the sellers. You pay the freight cost. The freight cost we use delivery expense or freight out to describe it. Okay, so please write down your journal entry to describe when you are the sellers, you pay the freight cost. That freight cost is your expense. So your expense increase because you are the sellers paid freight cost. Okay, so what's the debit, what's the credit? You paid the cash right now, so your cash decreased, right? At the same time, your expenses incurred. So what's the debit, what's the credit? Debit, freight out, your expenses incurred. That's your expense. Expenses incurred. Credit what? Cash, right? Because you pay the cash. So your cash decrease. Okay? Any questions? No? Okay. But you remember, we have two major expenses, right? What's our first major expense? Cost of goods sold. What's our second major expense? Operating expense, right? Operating expense. In case you forgot, I show you the slide before. Okay, here. Sales revenue minus first expense, cost of goods sold. We got gross profit minus second expense, operating expense. You got net income. For delivery expense, freight out belong to second major expense. Okay, belong to second major expense, operating expense. So here, operating expense including delivery expense, or you can call it freight out, 销货运费。Okay. So based on this, you will note for the transaction we have on page 18, so far, what's the net income we have on page 18 from transaction 1 and 2? What's the net income we have? We have gross profit $3,500, right? Minus second major expense, freight out 80. So you will note gross profit how much? $3,500. Right now, minus second major expense, operating expense. For operating expense, we have delivery, freight out, maybe freight out. How much? $18. Okay, so based on this, for the information we have so far, you got net income should be $2,000 or $3,420. Okay, so did you find out? In order to get final profit, we have different kind of expenses. In order to get final profit, you could put into your pocket. Okay, any questions? We have only 3 minutes left. Okay, it's okay. 3 minutes. We could continue it. Are you done already? Okay, so let's continue to the third transaction. What happened? On June 9th, you sell the products to customers, right? Still the same. When you sell the products to customers, what if they don't like it? Could customer return the products to you? Of course, yes. So June 9th, what happened? Sales returns because customer don't like your products. They decide to return inventory back to you. So that's sales returns. So sales returns means customer don't like your products. So customers returned inventory to you. You are the seller. Okay? They return the inventory back to you. $1,000 is the selling price. You try to earn the revenues from customers before. For that inventory cost 500 means what? You spent to buy it. Okay? So we mentioned right now, customer decide to return part of inventory back to your company because customer don't like your products. They are not satisfied for part of your inventory. So they decide to return the inventory back to you. Okay? For this, how could we record it? Quite easy, right? You just compare June 1st. June 1st, you sell it to customers. June 9th, you got the inventory back. So means what? Upper right? Upper situation. So from June 9th, how to record it? Remember how many things you record on June 1st? 2 things. First about revenue. Second thing about cost of goods sold. When you got the inventory back to you, still, since you record 2 things, when you got the returned inventory, you still have to record 2 things. But what's the difference? Difference is they are upper this side, right? They are upper this situation. So when you look at comparing June 1st and June 9th, then you will note you just given upper the situation. For revenues, before your revenues increase, right? When you got inventory back, that will make your revenues increase or decrease? Decrease, right? Because you got the inventory back from customers. So means what? The revenues you could earn from customers should be decreased, right? Okay. How about cost of goods sold? Before your cost of goods sold increase, right? Because try to earn the revenues, make your expense increase. Since you got the inventory back to customers, of course they will make your expenses decrease, right? Okay, so just compare these 2 things. So what does it mean? Before my revenues increase, my expenses increase because I sell it to customers. Right now, I got inventory back from customers. That will make the revenues I could earn from customer decrease, right? Since revenue decrease, the expenses incurred will be decreased, okay? For expenses decrease, at the same time, why your inventory increase? Because you got the inventory back from customer. Means what? You got inventory back. Since you got inventory back, of course your inventory increase, right? So that's why here your inventory increase. Why? Because you got inventory returned from customer. Okay? Any questions? No problem? Okay. Take a break. Later I give you a time to finish it. So take a break first.